Sometimes you may think that you already have it all figured out, but there's always another strategy out there that you haven't explored. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new here. I'm Don and today we'll be taking a look at Shark Nekroz. Let's get into it. As per usual, let's have a look at some of the cards. Aside from the Nekroz monsters, the only other monsters that you'd want to see would be your Surfacing Big Jaws and your Abyss Shark. However though, given the fact that Nekroz has now become a rank 4 engine with the new support, we have access to Galaxy Photon Dragon, which is a light rank 4 that has the effect to detach a material to add either a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And the card that we'll be adding would be the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal, which has the effect where if there's a Dragon XYZ monster on the field, you can quick effect special summon this card from your hand to either field, and if it's normal or special summon, the owner of this card can add a Tachyon spell or trap card from their deck to their hand, which the owner would be whoever hand it's coming from. And as you know, that Tachyon card would be the 7 Tachyon, which can pretty much lead you to your Shark cards. Alright, so with that out the way, let's get into the combos. So there's about 3 endboards to this combo that pretty much ends on the same monsters but with a different XYZ trap card, either in the grave or on the field. This one would be the go in first combo for game 2 or 3 where you'd add the counter trap. So before you activate your 7 Tachyon, you'd want to go into your XYZ Armored Fortress first, detaching 2 materials in order to add you your XYZ spell and your XYZ trap card, which would be the Equip and the Full Armored XYZ. And that would pretty much make it a complete 1-card combo, because when you activate the 7 Tachyon, you'd have to put 1 card back from your hand to the top of the deck, which you'd then just put the spell card that you added from the fortress to the top of the deck. The reason why you'd want to go into Abyss Shark into Big Jaws is that if you were to get Nib and you have the Abyss Shark in hand, then you won't be able to summon it. But if you were to get Nib while having the Big Jaws in hand, you can still summon it because you activated a spell this turn. Alright, so right here is where the boards pretty much differentiate, and that's because the XYZ trap card that you'll be sending with the Jet Shark would differentiate. Right here, you'll be sending the Unbreakable XYZ Barrier, which you can then add back to the hand with your Dark Lancer. This would be the Caesar combo. So you dump the XYZ Revive Splash, and then you can banish that card to target a Water XYZ monster you control, and then you can pretty much rank it up into an XYZ monster that has 1 rank higher. So usually you wouldn't do this in your turn unless you're like going second. So you can pretty much get the most use out of your Nash Knight. So you can always detach to absorb, and then you can banish the trap card to rank up into a Caesar. So you then have like a 3 material Caesar, which you can't really go wrong with a 3 material Caesar. There's also other ways you can go about it. As I said, if you're going into a board, you can always go Nash to absorb 1 card. Then you go into CXC's Nash, which would then put you into the Chaos 101, which can then absorb another card. Then you can banish the Splash in order to go into Caesar, which would then create a 4 material Caesar, which 3 material is already oppressive enough. And the reason why we went into the Crystal Zero is simply because if our opponents were to Raigeki our field, we would lose the Caesar and we'll also lose the Kraken. But Crystal Zero can just detach a material to protect herself, and then we can just use the full armored XPs to rank up into Dark Lancer and then banish the trap and still get another interruption. And if you haven't been paying attention, this is also a burn strategy with the Kraken, because you can quick effect destroy a water monster on the field, which it floodgates the field to turn everything on the field into water monsters, and then the monster that you destroy, you can burn your opponents for half the attack. So if you're playing against a strategy that really needs a specific attribute, then you're pretty much already winning, because it locked them out of that attribute by turning all monsters on the field into water. If you made it this far into the video, remember you can leave a like, that'll be appreciated. Then if you want to see more videos from me, you can check out my channel. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, you can subscribe to the channel. Let's get back into the video. Alright, so this combo doesn't really involve using the sharks, and this is for like instances where you can't have access to your 7th Tachyon. Either you've already used the monster and it got removed, or you open the primal in hand, which, as you know, you can't go into the Galaxy Photon Dragon, because if you rank up into the fortress, you'd have 3 materials and you don't have 3 cards to search. So you'd be stuck with 1 material and you can rank up into your 6 or your 7. So this is pretty much what you can do to mitigate that issue. So you just go to Garrus to detach and reborn, then you can make the fortress to search the full armored XCs. And now if you've searched the Catastor, you could just reborn. But seeing that you search the Burnak, you'd have to search the Catastor, which you can then use to reborn your Emilia. And with those 2 monsters on the board, you then make the Kraken, which going into your opponent's turn, you'd have the Kraken and the Crystal Zero off 1 card. So you still have 4 other cards in your hand. And let's say 1 was a brick, you'd still have 3 other cards in your hand. Alright, so that'll be it for today, guys, and see you guys next time.